Earlier on, David started with the past. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the future. Okay, so we talk about jobs that are going to exist in the future that don't exist today. We'll have a look at what it's going to look like. And this is 2030. Kids who go into school at standard 1 or year 1 right now, this is when they are graduating. Now, the thing is, this is when they'll be at the peak of their career. All right? I particularly like the body part maker. That's my personal favorite. Don't know what that's going to look like, but it's all good, exciting. Now, the point is, what do all these mean to us parents and particularly the teachers is that we literally have to do this. Now, the question is this: how in the world do we prepare students today for their future using information of the past? Now, a lot of universities right now, they're grappling with this. Imagine if a question is given to the child to write about what the telecommunication is going to look like 20 years from now. We literally have to give kids all marks, and they're going to pass, they're going to all get good grades just because, none of us know what it's going to look like. That is education in the future. That's preparing them for the future. Now, the thing is, the reason why we're here speaking is because we are known to really drive a lot of boundaries, okay? And this is our first school. My partner in crime is actually my sister. If you put our two halves of our faces together, we'll look one. Okay? Yes, she was teaching in Singapore and I was teaching in Malaysia, close to 30 years each of us, and we decided to start our own school. This is our second school. Yes, this is a luxury because I started teaching from my, I was in the colleges, and then when I started the business, I was teaching from my dining room in my house. So this is like our double, triple, quadruple dream come true. We have a sports complex and we have an academic complex. However, it's the first entrepreneurial school in Malaysia. Okay? Now, I'm going to talk a fair bit about entrepreneurship and what it takes to actually have a school like that works. The big question is why? Why put emphasis on entrepreneurship? Now, if you deal with students all these years, you'll find that if you want good education, now come from Malaysia. We're nowhere. You talk about PISA. What PISA in our country? We started at the same level as Hong Kong and Singapore. We kind of disappeared from the top 10. We're not anywhere near 50 years later, right? And in many parts of the world as well, if you want good education, it's really expensive, right? In certain countries, like in America, they're already talking about student debt crisis. Kids who graduate, I should repeat that. Graduates, when they come out, before they even start working, they're already in debt. And that is a huge problem. How do they dig themselves out from that? And the other is, people are looking for jobs, or graduates go look for jobs, or after they get educated. We are more interested in our students being able to create jobs and be able to collaborate, particularly across the world. We cannot even collaborate within a department anymore. They need to know how to do this. The other is, over the years, when I talk to a lot of my students, after working for a while, they'll come to me and say, half the time I don't know what I'm doing here, And for them, they actually are in jobs of their choice. That was their purpose, into accountancy, into banking. But after a while, the thing that they're looking for is a cause or a purpose. And we have to train our students for that. Entrepreneurship drives that. It's not about starting a business. It's about making change, right? Now, in order to understand what's going to happen, please excuse me, I'm going to be very, very blunt. Are we all right with that? Yeah, I'm going to be really blunt here. Okay. Now, to know what is really happening is you have to know the difference between the real world and the world of academia. They don't mix. They don't even mesh. One doesn't even lead to the other. We see that happening because it's too far back in the past. Yes. Now, the thing is, the students, they are one step away from the real world. And that's where we are preparing them for, to get out there. The thing about it is the teachers are 2 steps from the real world. I'm a teacher, yeah? So the 2 steps away from the real world, they think they know what the real world, how it operates. But They don't know what it takes to make sure there is money in the company in order for it to run and make payroll, for instance. What it takes to market a product, or even make sure that the product is what the people out there, the market wants, or create a product that the market wants, even if they don't know it. So they don't know what it takes to do that. Now, then you have the teacher trainers. They're 3 steps away. Yes, you see the reality. Besides being besides the teacher trainers, you're looking at education policy makers. You're talking about management of many, many schools. It is not that they're 3 steps away that's the issue. It's the mindset that is the big worry right now. For them, for people who are on this side, there's a tendency for them to want evidence. They want statistics before they'll put anything into the education system. Now, it takes time to get the statistics and the evidence, yeah? The real world doesn't operate that way half the time. You look at a problem, you need to solve the problem, and then you just think you have a solution, and you just do it. Then we get the data. So that is what the real world is like. So right now, the whole education system no longer serves the real world. What we do in our school, the parents and our students sometimes find it difficult to explain to people what actually goes on in our school. Reason is because when we did the whole curriculum, we didn't even think outside the box, we threw it away. We didn't operate from here. Our students, teachers, teacher trainers, everything that we do is operating from the real world space. If it doesn't fit there, we throw it out. And then we had to go forward into the future, not my 10-year future, 2030, beyond that, whatever would serve the child. And then we worked backwards. That was exactly how our curriculum came about. Okay? Now, the other thing about understanding how education works is you're going to have to look at this cone of learning. This cone of learning came about in 1969, okay? What it does is it explains when information is given in these various forms, 2 weeks later, how much is retained. Now take note that memorizing is really at the bottom of the cone. After 2 weeks, it's only 10%. And the reason why the bottom 3 is highlighted is because most schools in Asia operate from that space. Now, the horror of this statistic is this. Only 20 to 25% of students learn well from that bottom method, the 3 ways. So, if you're looking at statistics, and you want statistics to prove whether something works, then people are going to look at it, okay, exactly how do students, the ones that do well, how do they learn? And then you look back and you see that, they can memorize really well. They listen to the teachers, they pay attention. So you know what? We're going to have to do more of this to make sure that 75 to 80% who don't learn very well this way become good students too. See, therein lies the problem itself. Right now, majority of the students learn better up there because it is active learning. Down here, where it's 50% below, they're all passive learning. Okay? Now, the real world also operates up there. Does that give you a better idea where the issue lies now? So we need to flip the whole education system around. Now, the thing is, I'm going to skip this. Okay, it took 14 to 15 years to produce this student. Okay? Because the majority of them are coming out like this. Because this is the biggest problem that we are facing when we listen to entrepreneurs, we listen to corporate companies when they're hiring. All right? The thing is, do you know that it doesn't take long to create this? It takes 14 to 15 years to create the child who is completely disengaged or to become an adult like that, right? But it takes a very, very short time to create a child like this, who is creative, who is unafraid, who is fearless in doing things, speaking up, writing. I'm not talking about being confrontational. We're not talking about being revolutionary. No, it's just about speaking up what they think and what needs to be done, etc., etc. Are we good? Now, Finland would understand this because we are all for what you do. Because for primary level, to create a child like that, it takes 1 month. 1 month, if we get it right. And I'll share with you what are the things that we do. Are we good with that? Yeah. For the secondary students, if they come in from a regular system, it takes us about half a year to 2 years to get it right with the kids. A majority of them, we can get them, to feel this way after about 6 months. Then you have another 20% that takes time. We have students who don't want holidays. They complain when we have school holidays. We have kids who don't want to go to Europe or UK while school term is on. I even have 2 cases where both parents were going, one parent was, one family, they were going to India, the parents were going to India to work, and another one, the father had a business thing going on in Sarawak, and they had to move the whole family over, for a year or 2. The son said, 2 sons, nope, can you leave us behind here? We want to go to school. They don't want to leave the school. So this is the kind of feedback that we get with our students. Just a quick, so what are the qualities that have to be in place? 1, kids thrive in informality. They don't do well in formal surroundings. Kids are kids. So in our school, we treat kids like kids and teens like teens. Now, when I say treat them as such, I don't mean talk to them like a child. Talk to them like the intelligent beings they are, but know what they can do and what they cannot. Children and teens come with noise. They come with a lot of energy. Celebrate that noise, celebrate the energy, and then you channel it for the right reasons, and you will find that their personality will thrive at an individual level. They don't become the same, okay? The other thing that we do is, actually what I'm talking about is laying the groundwork for entrepreneurship, okay? I don't want people to get the impression that entrepreneurship is like the magic bullet to solve the problem of the education system today. Okay, you have to have all these in place before you can, I'll explain why. The second thing that we do is we make sure all our kids are trained to be creative and to be confident. If you want to see debates going on in our math classes, yes, we do have that. And we put a lot of right brain activities into left brain subjects. Econs. We have something called Magical Marketplace. We also do things like the upper form econs. We have things going on like the wizards and, the wands and, potions and stuff like that for econs. Yeah, and geography for year 8, I think they have to write a letter to God. Yes, stuff like that, we have a lot. The best one I think that really gets to a lot of people is that we take our kids, the math students at year 11, to a water theme park to do experiments. See, these sort of right brain activities, and they do presentations all the time. All right? Now, the other thing, and one of the issues is this. A lot of people can't equate. Okay, it's easy to make kindergarten and primary school creative and fun. People can't imagine that it can be like this at secondary level. Most people can't think of serious learning like chemistry, physics, bio. How do you make that fun? But yes, you can do it. I had a parent who actually pulled the kid out on the second day of the school after 1 day of orientation and said that I didn't send my kids here to have fun. We said, yeah, please go. We didn't even bother to try to convince them to stay. But we do come across a lot of Malaysian parents like that. But we stood firm though. Okay? Now, the third thing is what we call positive relationship in a positive school. I think Finland, you call it positive pedagogy. Yeah. If you focus on what the kids do well, I tell you they will soar, and you will see that change within that 1 month. All right? And then the fourth one, there's something most people forget, are the teachers. We talk about the students. We focus a lot on our teachers. Number 1, in our school, our attention is on the students. Focus, number 1. Number 2 are our teachers. Everything within the school supports the teachers. All right? And we give our teachers financial training as well. We also want them to start businesses. Who they are and how we recruit them is also different. I've got medical doctors teaching in our school, lawyers, engineers, pharmacists, forensic scientists, a whole bunch. And they come in because they want to make that difference and change in education. When I use the word change, I think usually governments will get quite worried, But everything is the same. We're using the Cambridge curriculum. That way parents are okay, They know the standard is there. But we just flip everything inside out and upside down. Yeah, Coco? Yes. Now, just to give you a little bit of what goes on in our school, this is a kids' marketplace that we did, and the students are selling things outside of the school. It's like, in the evening, it's like a pasar malam thing, which is a night market in Malay, yeah? And this is one of the activities that go on in the school. Our school is a very hip-hop school. We're really well known for it. We have a whole community, literally every person can dance. We have dancing teachers as well. My math teachers are like Latin dancing, and hip-hop teachers teaching physics, etc. Yeah, and this is something going on in the school. Okay, but I think you'd like to see this. This was Children's Day, and they had a water fight. Okay, including the principal sitting right over there. He's one main culprit. Started attacking everybody else. Yeah. Now, I will let the school speak for itself. These are the students.
Hi! Welcome to the Awesomeness Project!
Our school the society is generally very accepting and supportive, so everyone here has no masks, we're all ourselves.
Not only the students learn from the teachers, also that the teachers learn from the students.
Empowers creativity.
Giving us more opportunities, that's what this school is all about. Practice makes progress. You don't stop when you're tired. You will only stop when you are done.
Stay calm, do your best, and as you walk into the hall, you will always feel this sense of relief.
That's actually quite hard. 5 words aren't enough to describe our school.
Boisterous.
Trust. Awesome. Together. Unique. Extraordinary.
Awesome! Awesome!
Awesome.
Awesome!
Let's get crazy.
Yes, that's us. We're quirky that way. And the energy in the school is really, really high. Oh, by the way, we're not a dance school, yeah? It looks like we're dancing the whole day, but they're not. Some of those activities are for the other subjects, like sciences, it could be history, You just never know what's going on. Yeah, but the point is this, kids, they have so much energy, you really need to harness it. Don't waste it, yeah? Now, coming back now to the entrepreneurial ecosystem, this is our youngest CEO. We have a 7-year-old CEO in our school. Her mom is the GM. When we negotiate with her, I said, pricing, please talk to my GM. Yes. I've got some of the stuff that she's got. It's actually a online tea business that she wanted, and she was very specific about it, and she only wanted 2 blends of tea, 2 products, because that's all she can remember. And she even negotiated with a cafe owner in Bali because she was there. So right now they're in talks about providing and supplying tea to Bali. All right? Yes, and in order to have the ecosystem, you're going to have to be prepared. we train up our teachers on entrepreneurship and all that, and therefore we do go into partnerships with them. We co-invest with them, in them, and the rest of our administration team. We have access to all that. We work with them. The other one is we're in partnerships with quite a number of our ex-students. So we're really looking forward to going partnerships with existing students, Yeah. But not all of us will go into partnership with, but it depends on what works for them, etc. Now, you see, the thing is we're very, very fond of pushing all sorts of boundaries. The other thing that we do very well is we gamify a lot of the things that we do, including even doing past exam papers. We have this amazing English race for it. And then other quirky things. Okay, so just to give you an idea how far we gamify stuff, we created the first chemistry role-playing game in the world. This is done by teachers in our school, a combination of both science teachers and our arts teachers, like the language teachers, okay? Now, why we push this? You see, this is a child of about 6 to 8 years old. Chemical symbols, they don't generally go together, but with games, you can. All right, I'll show you a short trailer of what the game looks like, yeah? Question, how many of you would prefer to revise chemistry 3 times through a game? That's the question, rather than a book. As parents, I think it's so tough to get them to even revise once, much less 3 times, yeah? You see, the thing is, through the game, what we wanted to do was to, make education, we are just trying to fix the problem of exams. Exams require a lot of skills combined, whereas textbooks are written in a very linear fashion, okay? And therein lies the problem. How much time do I have left? Time's up. Okay, right. Okay, so maybe what I'll do is I'll just jump it forward a little bit. The lag time, this is crazy stuff if you know what's going on out there. Just a quick one, because the question you want to know is, all well and good what we talk about, can we produce results? Do the students have fun and able to handle exams? And this is where we're going to show you that we got a lot of acknowledgements, Okay, I can do 2 talks, I think. Yeah. Okay. Yes. Sure. I'm going to wrap it up. Now, this is actually, thank you, Ada. This is actually recognition from Cambridge University, a student union. So we've been invited in the yearbook for 3 years in a row, selected by the professors. This is acknowledgement from the industry, including 2 awards for the game and TED Talk. The reason why I'm bringing this up to you is that we have to listen to the industries. This is what they want. That's where I'm going to stop. Thank you very much.